If your kids are running around like crazy in public and they fall over, don't get mad at me for laughing. I know it's messed up, but kids falling over is funny to me, and I'm sorry, but if your child is going 60 miles per hour and they trip, chances are I'm going to laugh, and I don't care. I saw this happen at a TRH and the dad burst out laughing and said, "Learned your damn lesson, huh? Come sit your ass down," while I'm still laughing. As someone who works at a daycare, this is actually a great trick to get them not to panic and cry. If you laugh and go "Hoo, that was awesome," then they get confused and kinda go "Huh? Okay. Cool. Yes, I love it because they're so small and uncoordinated, so they just kinda flop and accept it." Also, screaming crazy kids are the bane of my life when I'm enjoying a nice quiet day. People falling because they are doing something stupid is usually funny. Children usually fall because they are doing something stupid. Therefore, children falling is usually funny. People falling is funny. As long as they aren't obviously seriously injured. This goes for kids and adults. I say laugh all you want. If you make a habit out of coddling kids when they fall or get the slightest little bruise or bump, they'll cry every time and won't learn how to pick themselves up and move on. I'll watch your kids fall down all day. I don't give a shit about your kids. I'm fine with it as long as they're not injured. When my oldest son was around 2, my sister and I took him to the mall. He kept running and I told him, "One of these times you're going to run into one of those windows." Sure as shit, kid takes off running again and bam! Right into the window for the gap. He flew backwards, like he bounced off that shit. Once we picked him up, my sister and I laughed so hard we could hardly stand up. We got glared at by people walking by us that had seen what happened. I just kept saying through laughs that I warned him this was going to happen. I remind him about it sometimes and he always says, "Yeah. And you guys just sat there and laughed." LOL. Yes we did. I worked with a waitress who had a table with a 3 to 5-year-old kid. The kid was climbing on the partitions between tables. The waitress told him she would take away his crayons if he didn't stop climbing where he shouldn't. Parents did nothing. The kid slipped and caught his chin on the partition and ended with a bloody mouth from biting his tongue or lip. The waitress went up to the table and took that kid's fucking crayons. LMAO, I had to go hide in the office. I couldn't stop laughing. I work at a fairly busy restaurant. Even during a pandemic, a little 6-ish-year-old girl was running around her table a couple weeks ago and wasn't paying attention and completely ran face first into the back of a chair. I couldn't help but crack up. I have a bigger problem when my kid trips and falls, doesn't know how to act, looks around for an adult to show him some sort of emotion, and a complete stranger, "Oh no baby. You're hurt? Ouch. 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 Why did your mommy let you fall? Poor thing." Then my kid becomes an absolute wreck because he thinks he's supposed to be playing victim. Then I'm the b-hole because I don't cater to the drama. Edit, a word. Fuck. I could watch kids fall off bikes all day. I don't give a shit about your kid. The parents are mad and embarrassed in general about what's going on. It's not you, you're not nearly as important as you think you are in that situation. If my kids fall over and you laugh at them, you can bet I'll be right there laughing at them with you. It is funny. And laughing at them is a good way of letting them know they're fine and no need to cry, just get up and do it again. Parent of 2 gremlins, I absolutely laugh. It's been psychologically proven that young kids look to their parents for how to react to situations, so when parents get dramatic about a scraped knee, kiddos pick up on that and are dramatic in turn because clearly with how upset your parents are, you must be dying. My husband and I frequently have to hide our laughter because we're worried they'll hurt themselves or pretend to for laughs. Kids are crazy, yo. I could watch kids fall off of bikes all day. I don't give a fuck about your kids. I almost spilt a bowl of hot pho on a kid because his mom was letting her little brats run around our restaurant. He ran into a table later and I had to go in the kitchen to laugh. This is an unpopular opinion. I agree with this completely. If my kids are running around in public acting like assholes and not listening, and they fall over, I'll be right there laughing next to you. I was walking through a zoo once and this toddler was running around and cut right in front of me, so I tripped over him. And his Karen of a mom had the nerve to yell at me and tell me to watch where I was going, like, lady, what? Control your brat. I'm the first one to laugh when my kids eat the ground. A few months ago I was at the mall and there was a kid running all over the mall and suddenly he crashed so hard on a glass door and he started crying like crazy. I let out a small laugh and the mom began to yell at me. Dude, I had this happen once in front of my own kids and myself in a huge public mall a few years back. These wild misbehaving kids were not only being rude and disrespectful, loud obnoxious assholes, they also knocked over some decorative plants around the sitting area. The one kid just totally tripped over his own feet and smashed his face into the floor. I let out a chuckle before I could stop myself. The mom looks at me and says that I'm horrible for laughing at a child's injury. I got up, grabbed all three of my children who were behaving respectful, intelligent kids, and told her if she disciplined her kids properly they wouldn't run around like wild heathens. Comedy is tragedy happening to someone else. For me personally, I wait to see if they're seriously hurt. If it's something horrible, like a little girl I saw fall off a merry-go-round because she was acting crazy and needed to be rushed to the hospital, that shit wasn't cool to laugh at, then I remain respectful. But if I instantly can tell that they can still move their arms and legs, they're not bleeding, and it wasn't a head injury, well then that little fucker is fair game to point and laugh at. Especially if they cry unnecessarily loud.